Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adina Rizky Fadiatunisa, and I would like to retell a short story by Chopin with the titled Story of an Hour. So, the story began when Mrs. Mullard's sister Josephine was trying to tell a shocking news in a gently way due to heart problems of Mrs. Mullard. Her husband found in the leading list of killed from a train accident. One of her husbands, Richard, was there to convince about the accident by a second telegram. It must be certain that Brantley Mullard was killed. Although the news was delivered in broken sentence, it did not lessen the shock and grief she felt at the time, so she cried in her sister's arms. She then got up by herself and went to her room alone with no one following her. She sat down in her comfy chair with the opened windows. She seemed lost in her thoughts, feeling a huge emotion that was trying to relieve itself and find her soul. She looked straight to the open window like there was a light that seemed to bring a new life for her. The air felt cool with the sky so bright and blue. The birds chirped in the air like a wonderful tune, reaching everyone's ears. The world seemed pretty, but her view was black and white. She found herself exhausted, but that was contrary with her thoughts. Something inside her tried to force all of the sadness into a faster heartbeat, filling the air into her lungs. With a whispered sound, she let her words out from her mouth, saying, "Free, free, free." The adrenaline began with a massive rush of blood flowing through her veins. She came to the realization that she would live for herself from now on. She wouldn't have to impose herself. She wasn't even sure if she loved him or not. On the front door, there was Josephine trying to tell Mrs. Mullard to open the door. Josephine was afraid that Mrs. Mullard would hurt herself. Mrs. Mullard, on the other hand, was just welcoming her new life. Then she walked out to the room with a hilarity on her eyes like a brand new person. Richard waited for both of them in downstairs. Not so long after that, someone opened the door. Turned out to be Brantley Mullard who was coming. He was alive and stated that he was far from the accident. But his wife, Mrs. Mullard, suddenly died from a heart attack, which what doctors said was because of the joy that kills. The end. So the end of the story ended up ironic because we know that Mrs. Mullard was not dead due to the joy that her husband is still alive, but she died of the reality that the world was going to rob her life so that she had to live for someone again. That's all for me. Thank you so much for your attention.